Hey everybody, welcome to the Wise Podcast. My name is Adam McLean. We're not going to waste your time. We know it's valuable. We're going to get off to our first tip. It comes from Brock Morgan.
Hey, summertime is such a great youth ministry, really time of the year to see kids' lives change and transformed. It's also a great time to set up ministry for the fall. And so here's kind of a tip for you this summer. Set up an appointment with a principal or two. Maybe, meet her at Starbucks and ask her this. Ask her what she needs. Ask her if there's anything that you can do. And now I did this with our principals in our city, and at first they were like, oh, we're good, because they've had youth pastors go up to them, hey, what do you need? Is there anything I can do? And typically youth pastors, what they're saying is, can I come visit my kids at lunchtime? Or can I pass out flyers to a Bible study or a pizza feed that I'm doing? And so when you meet with the principal, call, make an appointment, they'll meet with you. And get there and ask them specifically, look, I just want to know if there's any way that we can serve. What can we do for you? We don't want anything, no strings attached. We just want to serve. Now, when I did this to the principal, I had to meet with him, this gentleman, 3 times before he finally said, okay, well, our school assemblies suck. Can you help with that? And we were like, sweet, we'll help you with your school assemblies. So we started running school assemblies at West Salem High School in Salem, Oregon. And Oregon's super liberal. They don't really let Christian groups come in, but we're not coming in to do anything but to serve. We serve not to get people saved. We serve because we're saved. And so the tip is this summer, set up some time with some principals. Ask them how you can serve, whether it's DJing dances for free, whether it's providing mentors for kids who are hurting or at risk, whether it's partnering with the police department with the DARE programs, whatever it is, whatever they need, cleaning toilets, whatever, show up and serve. And what you're going to find is if you're faithful in serving in the little things, doors will open up, which has happened for me in my ministry, where now every week principals are calling us. Hey, can you do this? Can you do that? Why? Because we're just serving. We're showing up and we're serving. We're proving ourselves faithful. So get out there. Go serve.
Thanks for that, Brock. Next up on the show is Les Christie, and he's got this devotional to share with you.
Hey, have you ever wondered why Peter in the Bible denied Christ 3 times? I mean, here's a guy that the evening before says, I'd never leave you. I'll follow you anywhere. I mean, the rest of them may desert you, but I will not. And then within hours, 3 times, he denies even knowing Christ. There's a telltale verse in Luke chapter 22, verse 54, that kind of gives a hint of why suddenly Peter changed from this bold, brash individual to this almost coward. It simply says, and Peter followed at a distance. See, physically, he was behind Jesus. He was following him at a distance. But I also think it's symbolic in the fact that Peter was spiritually following Jesus at a distance. We're in California as we filmed this, and I grew up in Southern California. And one of the treats we had as a child, my sister and I were younger, was to be able to go to Knott's Berry Farm. And Knott's Berry Farm back then was not an amusement park. It was simply a chicken dinner restaurant and then a little ghost town. So we went to the chicken dinner restaurant with my folks, and then they would take us to this ghost town. But at the end of the ghost town was this little chapel, because Knott's Berry Farm, Knott's family is a Christian family. We went in the chapel. We weren't Christians as a family, but we went in the chapel, and they closed the doors of the chapel, and everybody stood up, and then the lights dimmed, and they had this huge 2 doors that suddenly opened up in the front of the chapel. And when they opened it up, here was a life-size rendition of Jesus. And it was eerie because it was soft music in the background, and wherever you walked in this little chapel, his eyes seemed to follow you. It was the creepiest thing in the world for me. And then after about a minute, the doors closed, the lights came on, and we could all walk out the back door. And out the back door was a little gift shop. And my dad bought something, but he wouldn't tell me what he bought. So we get home that night. My dad said, come here, I want to show you something. And we get in my dad's room, and he says, it needs to be really, really dark. I said, okay. So we get in my parents' closet. And in his hand, he has this item, and he gets ready to show it to me. Now you'll know what this is. Remember, this is like a zillion years ago. This is a brand new product. No one had ever seen this before. He opens his hand, and there's a glowing cross in his hand. And I could hardly see his hand, but you could see a cross, and then it started moving it as he moved his hand around. And I'm going, whoa, that is totally cool. And I thought it was a battery operated, and my dad gave it to me, and it was that material, you know, that just kind of glows in the dark. And so I'm watching this thing, and I move it into my hand, and I'm thinking, this is so cool, I want to show my sister. So I found my sister Margot. It took me a while to find her. She's outside, got her. I said, you got to check this out. And I had it in my pocket the whole time. And so then I said, we got to get in your closet. I'm going to show you this. No, I had done mean things to my sister. She wasn't real excited about getting in the closet with me. But I said, no, I'm not going to hurt you, honest. So we get in the closet. I pull this thing out of my pocket, and I said, watch this. It's pitch black in there, and I go, boom, and nothing. Wasn't glowing at all. I'm hitting it. My sister's going, what are we doing in here? And I'm pounding this stupid thing, nothing, and I said, it's busted. So I went and found my dad. I said, Dad, they ripped you off at Knott's Berry Farm. They took advantage of you. This thing's busted already. It's not even glowing. And my dad said, come here. So he takes me over to the light in the living room, and he holds it up to the light. And then we go in the closet, and it glows like crazy again. And I realized then that this little item, this material, you have to keep holding it up to the light. And the further away it got from the light, the more it lost its glow. The Bible says that Jesus is the true light. And what happened with Peter was, even though he was only physically away from Jesus at a distance, he was also spiritually away from him. And he lost the power and the ability to take a stand for Christ. He lost the joy in his life. So if you're feeling kind of weak right now spiritually, and you're wondering, how can I recharge these batteries? You and I, just like I had to take that little cross and bring it back to that light in our living room, you and I have to bring our own lives, our own souls, our own spirits back to Jesus. Don't follow Jesus at a distance.
Hey, thanks for watching the show this week. I want to invite you to connect with me. You can send me an email at adam@youthspecialties.com, or look me up on Facebook or MySpace or Twitter or any of those other social networks that you use. We want to remind you, just like we do every week, that your ministry matters. We know that you don't hear it enough, but we want you to hear from our heart to yours that your ministry matters. It matters greatly to the parents in your ministry, to the students in your ministry, but most importantly to the heart of God. Thanks for what you do. We'll see you next week.